live, and US equities came off the lows of the day to finish mixed, with the Dow able to capitalize on yesterday's solid rebound. The market continued to face a host of headwinds, notably stubbornly high inflation pressures that have forced the Fed to begin an aggressive monetary policy tightening campaign. The economic calendar disappointed as preliminary data on the domestic manufacturing and services sector came in below estimates. New home sales plunged, and a read on regional manufacturing activity surprisingly fell into contraction territory. Meanwhile, inflation, labor costs, and supply chain issues remain evident in corporate earnings reports, with Snap falling sharply after lowering its guidance, while Best Buy posted mixed results. Abercrombie Fitch reported an unexpected loss, and Autozone topped quarterly estimates. The Treasuries were higher to apply downside pressure on yields as the US dollar added to yesterday's drop. Crude oil prices were lower and gold gained ground. Europe finished mixed, while markets in Asia were lower, with China leading the way. The Dow Jones rose 48 points to close at 31,929. S&P 500 lost 32 points to close at 3,941. Nasdaq declined 271 points to close at 11,264. In moderate volume, 4.9 billion shares of New York Stock Exchange stocks were traded, and 4.7 billion shares changed hands on Nasdaq. WTI crude edged $0.52 lower to $109.77 per barrel. Elsewhere, the gold spot was up $17.3 to $1,865.10 per ounce, and the dollar index lost 0.3% at 101.75. Okay, Best Buy. Okay, let's see what's going on. What happened to it? BBY. Best Buy, you can see it gained 1.21% in the regular session, up 0.31 in this post-market session, and it reported adjusted Q1 earnings per share of $1.57, below the 1.59 fact-set estimate, as revenues declined 8.5% year over year to $10.7 billion, north of the street's forecast of $10.4 billion. Q1 same-store sales declined 8% year-on-year compared to the expected 8.6% drop. The electronics and appliance retailers said yesterday results were softer than last year as it lacked stimulus and other government support that boosted unusual strong demand, while it saw increased promotional activity and higher supply chain expenses. BBY lowered its full-year earnings per share and sales guidance. The company noted that macro conditions worsened since early March, and those trends have continued into Q2. Okay, so Snap, yes, that's the one we're going to have a look at right now as well. Snap. Snap Inc. lost 43.03%, but has just gained 1.02% now. So Snap fell sharply after the social media company lowered its profit and revenue guidance for Q2, as it noted that the macroeconomic environment has deteriorated further and faster than anticipated. The company also said it will slow the pace of hiring. Okay, so we have more details on Snap. So in its 8Q filing yesterday, the 23rd of May. Snap said it had lowered its second quarter revenue and adjusted EBITDA forecast, mainly citing the Ukraine war and macro headwinds, while its peers may also feel pressure on revenue growth. The folks at Morningstar think the effect on Meta and Google's YouTube is likely less, as they remain the top platforms for direct response advertising, while they expect which they expect will be affected less than brand advertising. Twitter's revenue growth will likely be pressured as the platform continues to attract more broad-based brand campaigns. They do not expect spending on contextual advertising, which IAC's properties attract, to be affected as much. In addition, during economic slowdowns, advertisers prioritize purchasing ad inventory from the likes of Meta's Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube over others in the space, including Snap and Pinterest. After adjusting their models, they think they have lowered Snap's fair value estimate to $49 per share from $63, and Pinterest's fair value estimate to $48 per share from $56. They are maintaining their fair value estimates of $3,600 for Alphabet, $386 for Meta, $160 for IAC, and $54.2 for Twitter. Okay, so during a May 23rd event, Snap CEO Ivan Spiegel said the firm now expects second quarter revenue year-over-year growth below the 20 to 25 guidance provided when the firm released first quarter results in late April. The firm also expects adjusted EBITDA below the $0 to $5 million range for the entire note. Okay, so yeah, that's let's see what we can let's see what the technicals are saying here for Snap. A lot of today. Okay, bearish opportunities are there, so let's move on to, we all know the news. Let's see what the volumes were. 285.366 million shares. I think it was the most active stock in this session. There's a good chance it's going to rebound tomorrow. There's a good chance. So, and it's relatively cheap, so it's up 1.25% now. Okay, let's look at Zoom video communication. Okay, Zoom reported solid results for its fiscal first quarter, featuring inline revenue, strong profitability, and a slightly better outlook for profitability for the year than was previously provided. After modest model adjustments, the folks at Morningstar maintain their fair value estimate of $160 per share and they see shares as attractive. They are relieved to see overall stabilization after a surge in pandemic-fueled demand, followed by the inevitable slowdown, with continued strength in enterprise customers. The management of Zoom characterized new solutions such as whiteboarding, contact center, and Zoom rooms as being more than 10% of revenue in aggregate already, and believes that within the next 2 or 3 years will feature a single new solution generating 10% of total revenue, which they view as a positive indicator for long-term growth. Revenue grew 12% year-over-year to $1.07 billion, compared with FactSet's consensus of $1.073 billion. Customers with more than 100,000 and trailing annual revenues remain a bright spot and were 46% year-over-year to 2,916, with several large deals of more than 10,000 seats signed during the quarter. Enterprise customers drove 52% of revenue, which they expect to continue to increase. As enterprise drives their strength, they see a trend towards longer duration contracts and larger deals featuring multiple solutions. After launching in February 2022, Zoom Contact Center has already won a variety of large reference accounts for the entire note. Okay, so yeah, that's about Zoom, and it's gained 5.61%, up 0.41% in this post-market session. It seems to be doing well. It has shrugged off the post-pandemic blues, and it seems to be doing well, I think. It has impressed market participants. 27.394 million shares crossed the tape. Okay, let's look at the daily chart for Zoom and see what the underlying trend is. Okay, Zoom is the underlying trend is a bearish one. It's declining along with its 10-day moving average, or probably consolidating within a longer term bearish trend. On this daily chart, the momentum is quite strong. RSI is also improving, probably an indication that buyers are gradually paying higher prices for Zoom's shares. So let's have a look at AAPL, Apple. Okay, Apple lost 1.92%, currently up 0.27% in this post-market session. There will always be some sort of news. Okay, so let's get the volumes. 104.018 million shares across the tape for Apple. So up 0.31%. Momentum is also very strong. RSI is holding up as well. So let's look at Facebook. We mentioned Facebook, and the folks at Morningstar, they think they're maintaining a fair value estimate of $384 for Meta. Okay, you can see it's way away from that sort of price, almost $200 away from that price. And what else are they saying? They're also saying that during economic slowdowns, just as we are facing right now, advertisers prioritize purchasing ad inventory from the likes of Facebook and others as well. So it lost 7.62%, and that's currently up 0.4% right now in this post-market session. Let's see whether there's any technical opportunity there for Facebook. Okay, momentum is a bearish one. Let's see what this readout is saying. It says for bullish events, upward momentum has just built up, with the latest price now trading higher than the price 10 bars ago. The opposite is true for bearish events, when we are seeing downward momentum now that the price is trading lower than 10 bars ago. Momentum measures the volatility of the price changes. For a 10 bar momentum, we take the difference between the last bar's close and the close 10 bars ago, and we plot this line. This is a line fluctuating above and below zero, which can be used as a buy and sell signals when in agreement with the prevailing trend analysis. Momentum is significant because it signals the strength of price trends. A healthy price trend tends to exhibit strong momentum, while weakening trends often have a decreased momentum, indicating a trend reversal or a correction. Okay, so there's would there be news? There should be some sort of news. Yeah, hello Paul. Thanks for joining this live session. Stocks on Wall Street gave up more ground on Tuesday, that's today, amid mounting worries that persistently high inflation will dim corporate profits. Okay, a star profit warning from Snapchat's parent company spooked investors into dumping the stocks of major social media companies. Snap, as we have indicated, dropped 43%, its biggest single day drop ever, while Facebook's parent Meta slumped 7.6%. Google's parent fell 5.1%. So they're just making them cheaper. Are you going to buy Snap's calls tomorrow, Paul? So 50.329 million shares cross the tape for Meta. Okay, that's the FUV, highly shorted Abercrombie Inc. Down 3.41%, down one, that is in the regular session, and has lost a further 1.09%. Let's see what the technical opportunities are there for Meta. For FUV. Okay, yesterday triple moving average crossover. Let's see. The price is generally in an established trend, bullish or bearish, for the time horizon represented by the moving average periods. Moving averages are used to smooth out the volatility or noise in the price series to make it easier to discover the underlying trend. By plotting average price over the last several bars, the line is less jerky than plotting the actual prices. In the triple crossover method, a bullish signal is generated when a faster moving average 4 bar crosses above an intermediate moving average 9 bar, which in turn crosses over a slower moving average 18 bar. In this state, the price is likely in an established uptrend. The opposite is true when the 4 bar crosses below the 9 bar, which in turn crosses below the 18 bar, triggering a bearish event. So I think that's what we have in the case of Crude. So the stock is also heavily shorted. I think over 40% of the stock has been sold short. Is there any news? Yeah. So that's why I'm asking. Are you going to? Are you watching Snap? It gave up a lot in yesterday, 43% obviously from yesterday as well. So only 309,000 shares crossed the tape. So let's see what Snap. expecting any response from this. Okay, now we have Snap. Let's have a look at the options. So these are the May 27th ones, obviously. So yes, indeed, some people trade them. You can see the volumes are very high risk, but let's look at the June 17. These are the calls. 15,000. The volume for the $16 calls for today was 15,290. Okay, spread is okay, not so wonderful. 0.03. Okay, the $17 calls spread is also not too bad as well, but this one is not good at all. $18 calls, and look at this, not very good, not good at all. There isn't much, and there isn't sufficient interest in that one. That is the 1850 calls. Just yeah, there's a good chance something might happen. Okay, let's see what the volumes are still increasing. Market's still on, obviously, as post-market session. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can make of Snap. Okay, so that is the decline for today. Already it's been in a bearish trend. Yes. So let's take this drop of from 22.40 and 12.72, 22.40 and 12.72. We have a difference of 9.68 multiplied by, okay, let's use a modest figure, 1.618. We have 15.66. We add it to that current price of 12.79. So we have a target of 28.45 for Snap. That's where we expect it to rebound to 28.45. 28.45, somewhere around here, 28.45, that's where we expect it to rebound above its 10 and 20-day moving averages. There's no guarantee it's going to happen. Okay. Okay, I have to sign up now. My internet is so poor. Thank you, Paul, and every other person for joining this live session.